Yeah, so it's 1-3 MGM National Harbor about a month ago, so we're seven-handed.
You're in Washington, D.C.?
And yeah, just
Okay.
for this
Yeah.
event.
Okay.
Okay, so the main villain, this is a heads-up pod. He's in his mid-20s. He's got headphones on. I haven't really seen him get out of line. He's playing pretty straightforward. And I have king 10 of spades in the low jack.
Okay.
I got about 850 in my stack. And I open to 15. And it folds to the button, who is the villain, and he makes it 35.
And he has you covered?
He has me covered. He's got about 950, 900.
So a very small 3-bet.
Yeah, very small.
Okay.
So I end up making the call. What are your thoughts on that? Like, I don't think I should be
Well, you can't fold.
folding.
I mean, you can't
here
fold to a
such
mid.
small
You said you opened for the hijack, right?
low jack 15.
Low jack. I mean, even if it's a standard 3-bet, I mean, yeah, this is a defend low jack versus button, king 10 of spades. I mean, it's sort of down in quality of, if you look at the suited broadways, queen 10 and king 10 are sort of the worst ones. So, but you start to fold those out when like you open and then there's a caller and then there's a 3-bet and you're going to be in the middle. But yeah, I mean, it's a slam dunk call to normal sizing to 30. I don't think you can fold any hand to 35.
Yeah, I agree with that. I saw a lot of people saying that I should be just folding this, but
15 to 35 with king 10 of spades?
yeah, people say that. I don't. I mean, seven-handed too.
So it gets folded back around to you and you call?
Yeah, I call.
And they're heads up, right?
Heads up.
Okay.
And so the flop is ace of spades, queen of diamonds, 8 of diamonds.
Ace of spades, queen of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, and you have king 10 of spades, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I check it over to the villain, and he bets 50.
50 into 75.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So 2/3.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to call here. I mean, you've got a gut shot to a jack, overcard to second pair, backdoor spade draw. You could see 2 cards, even at 2/3 sizing. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to call.
Those are my thoughts.
Yeah,
I know this kind of smashes his range, but yeah, so I make the call.
Mm-hmm.
And the turn's the jack of diamonds. So I drill the straight.
Front door diamonds come in though, right?
Yeah. Front door.
Did you say this was an old guy on the button, or was it a younger guy?
No, young kid, headphones on.
Okay. So I think I remember where this is going. Again, notice that the flop is ace of spades, queen of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, turns jack of diamonds. So you make a straight here. Pot's 175. Right. Okay.
So I check it over to him. I feel like I could probably, I don't really have a donking range, but I feel like I could probably lead out here sometimes.
Yeah,
But,
I was thinking about the same thing too. I don't know if, we always think about, from a theoretical perspective, how leads from the blinds, especially in single raise pots, are very common on the turn when something were to, sort of favor your range. And I would think and the reason why that is because, like when middle pair pairs, right, you're going to have more of those cards than not. I would tend to think that going along with that theory, you are supposedly theoretically allowed to lead turns in a 3-bet pot, because the theory here is that you'll have more suited hands than he does because you're opening and defending as opposed to him 3-betting. And you probably have more king 10. Although I don't know, maybe he does. Maybe he 3-bets just as much king 10, but I would tend to say that you have more suited hands here, so right, you're allowed to lead. And if I was playing against somebody where when they 3-bet, they're gonna have like big pairs, ace king, I would definitely lead the turn. I mean, again, it's an old school thought. Usually against like older players, like thinking about my days of old times back to like the mid 2000s, where someone's 3-betting me, he's got aces, kings, queens, ace king, I'd lead the turn here for sure. Now, if it was an offsuit jack, then you can go for a check raise to build the pot up, but a lot of times this is going to be reflected with a check through. So I mean, that's kind of what my thoughts are. But you could, if this is a young guy, you might want to play it obviously I don't have a problem with
Yeah.
checking, you know.
No, I totally agree. So I check and he bets 175. So he bets pot basically. And
Hero checks and button bets 175. So basically full size pot, right?
yeah, I think pot's like 174 or whatever.
I mean, I think at this point, now that he's taken this sizing, you just sort of run this into bluff catching mode. You know what I'm saying? You probably just, once he takes this sizing, I'm probably just going to go check call, I would assume, for the most part. What's interesting here is that, you know, if he's got the primary hand that someone has when they're running a bluff, when the third flush comes in on the turn, is having like the ace of that suit. Like, for example, if the board was like queen 8, 3, 2 diamonds, right? Now the turn was the 5 of diamonds. You know, he had ace jack with the ace of diamonds, right? He continues to bet turn. Here, what's interesting is that the ace of diamonds would be paired, of course. So, you know, if he had ace 10 off, ace king off, like, is he starting to polarize here with like ace king, ace of diamonds? I mean, I would call for the sizing now.
Yeah, it's a confusing spot because, I mean, the sizing really threw me off because is he doing that for value? Is he doing it more as like a semi-bluff protection? Maybe with like a set he's protecting there. He doesn't want another diamond to bank off or something. Yeah, because like you said, I have a lot more flushes and straights in my range, so the sizing definitely confused me, but I end up making the call.
Yep, so it looks like it's 525.
And yeah, the river's 9 of hearts.
Okay.
So any 10 makes a straight. It doesn't really change anything else. And I check it to him, and he rips his stack in my face. Which is like basically
but it's
pot, a little over pot.
But yeah, I was going to say, but it's not something crazy though, right? Because you call 175 on the flop.
Right. There's no
225, 250. I mean, it's like 600
left.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you're telling me he's a young guy here, yeah, I would. I mean, has to be one of the hands that you call with that aren't flushes. Because who knows if the guy is even like? I mean, I'll give you another case too. Is that like? I'm not saying this, but I've seen stuff like this. Say he did this with like ace 10 offsuit, you know, with the ace of diamonds or something. Like, who's to say that he's not value betting a straight here at the end, right? You said it's a one-liner to a 10, so you're beating a naked 10, right? I understand what you're saying about large sizes and stuff, but like I said, I mean, sometimes I would make folds like this years and years ago if I really, really knew the player, but I can't imagine myself folding here now, especially if you're saying he's sort of a young guy that looks like did he have a backpack on?
No, he didn't. I made sure of it. he was vibing. It was a fun table. We were all drinking and stuff. So like, the thing is, I hadn't seen anyone get this, you know, like it was playing like a pretty straightforward 1-3, and I don't know, like,
you're saying he's putting a lot of money. He's putting a lot of money into the pot.
Yeah, exactly. That was my main thing going into it. I ended up making the fold, and looking back at it, I probably should have called. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think like that many people are bluffing there. Or, I mean, I know he could be value owning himself, but.
So, did you ever find out what the guy had?
So I asked him about an hour later, and he said he had a set. Like very confident. He's like, "Oh, I had a set." And I don't believe him there.
That doesn't make any sense.
Straightforward nonsense.
Set. I know.
And the only set is like, he puts me on a straight, and then he has aces with the ace of diamonds, and he gets pissed off and rips it. But
that sounds
I mean, I was thinking
stupid.
about some bluffs. Maybe like, what are your thoughts on like kings with the king of diamonds? Or he could have, I don't think he's doing that on turn with kings.
I mean, kings with the king of diamonds, it's interesting because when you take a look at your sort of defending range he's trying to get you off of an ace. He blocks ace king. So ace queen and ace jack are aces up types of hands. Ace 10 on ace queen 8 jack is open-ended, right? So ace 10's not folding. So what is he trying to get you off of, like ace 6 suited or something like that? It just seems like a very... right? You know what I'm saying? Like all the ace X that you're defending with is usually going to be some of the higher variety of kickers, and they all connect
Right.
on turn. So, I mean, I don't know. But I would have called though. I would have called. I understand what you're saying that it's a lot of money and stuff, but you gotta find some hands though, to call with some of the time. But
there's not that many combos of diamonds either.
Yeah. Anyways, I appreciate the call. Thank you very much. If you like what you've seen here, please hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this call-in hand, hit the like button down below. To check out crushlivepoker.com, click on the link in the description. Use the code YTA300 to get the first 30 days for free.